Hi, we're Lance and Tracy Smith from San Diego, California. Thanks for joining us here. We are very excited to share an opportunity that has absolutely changed our lives.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here. And for several years ago, somebody invited me to something like this, and I'll tell you what, to say it changed our life would be an understatement. So we're excited that you're here. We're going to go into the details as far as what the opportunity that we're going to share. But before we do, I wanted to just share a couple of minutes about ourselves and how we got to this point. So again, we're Lance and Tracy Smith from San Diego, California. Tracy and I met I believe I was 19 years old at a retail store here in Southern California that went out of business a few years ago. And my manager came back one day, and as you can see by my fish in the background, I like to fish. I like the outdoors. I've got a bunch of boats and stuff, and so I love that. And back then, my manager showed up one day, and he pulled out an Outdoor Life magazine, and there was a girl in there in dolphin shorts holding a big fish. And I said, "Man, that's my kind of woman." And he says, "Well, that's the new cashier." And so I had to immediately go check out something. And so I went up to the front and checked out a candy bar or something. And that's where our relationship started. And 4 years later, I told her for years that, if she married me one day, we'd travel the world, would have nice things, would have, she'd be able to shop whatever she wanted. And I think that sold the deal. But the truth of the matter is this: she said I do, and we were broke. She was working as a banker at a local bank here, and I was working for a lumber company, and we couldn't pay the bills on it. And a couple of things that happened that really, really changed our lives in our early 20s. And the first thing was that the company we worked for, as I said, it closed down. And there were 17,000 people that really got caught off guard by this company that shut down. And ultimately, a company, the Target is the one that bought them out. But there were people that had worked for the company for 20 or 30 years. And I realized, man, you can't put your faith in somebody else and really hope that it works out, because you never know what's going to happen. The second thing that happened is I came home one day, and I found Tracy in tears because creditors were calling her all day long. And I realized at that point we had to do something different, or I had to do something different, because the life I promised her was far from what the reality was. And so I spent probably 6 months or a year looking at different opportunities. I looked at franchises, I looked at vending machines, I looked at golf course driving ranges, I looked at laundromats. I was looking at anything I could possibly do to get out of the pattern that we were in. And I really wanted to have something that we could design our own life, where we can get up when we wanted to get up and do what we want to do, and it seemed like the self-employed route was the direction that I wanted to go. I wanted to be an entrepreneur back then, and I will tell you, the thing that held me back for all that is we were broke. We didn't have any money, so I couldn't buy the franchise. I couldn't do those things. And fate would have it, somebody showed up on my doorstep, and a cousin of mine, and shared with me an idea that really is the foundation of what I'm going to share with you in the next 15, 20 minutes. And and I'll tell you, it wasn't what I was looking for. It kind of caught me out of left field. But I was at a point right in my life where well, I don't want to say I was desperate, but I was desperate to do something to find some kind of opportunity. I didn't have the big dollars. And this guy came in and said, "Hey, here's a business." And I'll tell you what attracted me to it is he shared with me a business that I was a business for myself, but not by myself. I didn't have a huge fee to get started. I didn't have to mortgage my house. I didn't have to quit my job. I could work when I wanted to work and where I wanted to work and with who I wanted to work. And all those things were intriguing to me. And so that's really what made us decide to say yes. And I would love to say that yes turned into $1 million within 6 months, but that's not the way that it worked. Because a year into it, we started to get good at what we were doing, but we still really hadn't achieved the financial success. But year number two, it came in a pretty good way. Year number three and four, it took off like we couldn't believe. And by year number five, and we were in our early 20s, we bought the house we live in today. And by the time we were 30, we had accomplished a lot of our financial dreams and goals. And for the last couple of decades, we've had a chance to go around the world and really share to millions of people about this idea of being an entrepreneur and living a life by design. And that journey that we've been on led us to 2022, where we sat down and met with some peers of ours that we knew that were very successful in the industry. We came together, a group of us, and said, "You know what? We want to start something new. Our the world has shut down during the COVID time, and the world is hurting, and it needs what we've got. And our industry, when done right, is the best industry I've ever seen." And so that kind of led us to the accumulation where we started three. And so I'm going to start my slides real quick. Three came together in 2022. We launched in May of 2023, so we're not even 3 years old yet. We came together with the idea that there are a lot of people out there who really value wellness. They want time freedom. They want a purpose. And what I love about our industry is we have the ability to be able to put all of three of those together. And hence the name three. We came together and we decided that we're going to go out and look for people. And so what we're going to cover is I'm going to talk a little bit about us. We kind of shared that. We're going to talk about our company and our products that changed our health. We're going to talk about how to earn an income. And then we're going to talk about kind of what's next. If there's something in here that really lights you up that you think, "Hey, this is something that I might be interested in or I want to do." And so with that, who's it we're looking for? What we're looking for is we were looking for people who want to feel, who are confident and vibrant, and we want to have people that are healthy. That's certainly everybody's. If you ask people right now, we're coming close to the end of the year. We're going to hit New Year's resolution. People want to look better, they want to feel better, they want to make more money, and that really is just about everybody out there. We want to notice, we want to get with people or talk to people who've noticed that things have changed the last few years. 65% of people in America are living from paycheck to paycheck. We have this big old thing called AI that's going to displace so many people. There's so many people living in fear right now. They're really not sure where they're going to go. And those are the people we want to talk to. And we want to talk to people who understand what residual income is. There's a lot of ways you can go out there and get a second job and a third job, and you can go drive for Uber, you can do different things. But if you have financial problems and your only solution is to throw more time at it, you're going to not going to have any quality of life, and you're going to run out of time. And we realized that years ago. And so that's really what kind of drove us together with three. And so again, here's kind of our backstory. This is Tracey and their dolphin shorts that I was telling you about from years ago. And the picture on the right with her holding another halibut is actually the same location about 30 years later. And so we've had a great time traveling the world and fishing and our house. And then more important, our family today. We took that, Tracey just had a big birthday a month ago, 2 months ago. And we rented out a big Airbnb and took our whole family together. And so our 4 kids and our 6 grandkids, and we've been very, very blessed. And it's been pretty cool to spend our career where we were able to work, stay home with them, and be able to raise our kids rather than send them out and hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, hoping somebody else is going to do it. Now, they probably didn't appreciate that at times, but we sure loved raising them. We love our family. And so why 3? So what 3 is a couple of pillars that are really important. Number 1 is we have science-backed products. We have products. Everybody wants to be healthier, and for me, for lots of years, we'd have nutritional supplements, we'd take vitamins, we took a lot of things, and we just kind of kept our fingers crossed and hoping that they were going to work. And today, we're part of a company that's actually got scientific studies and cellular absorption technologies and 12 different patents and all different kinds of products that really make a difference. And I'll tell you, the thing that really has fascinated me over the last bunch of years is how many testimonials we have of people coming up to us and saying what the products that we represent, how it's changed their life. And so that was a big thing. We also wanted to have a global business. Tracey and I, in our last platform, we were with a company that did billions of dollars in sales and was in 100 and something different countries and territories. And we wanted to be with a company that would do that. And we're part of that today. We launched in 2023. And it launched in 14, 15 different countries. And so to be able to build a business that really never sleeps is kind of a cool thing. And to have a ground floor timing, that's really kind of important in a space like this. It takes somebody with some vision, and it takes somebody that's got some patience. But when you go at the very beginning, I mean, how do you like to have been in Apple or Facebook or a lot of these companies out there, Nvidia? I mean, at the very beginning when those things were formulated, and we've got all 3 of those over here at 3, and we're excited about all of those. So this is our leadership. This is two people. Number 1 is our founder and CEO, Daniel Piku. Daniel's a great guy. He's an amazing CEO. Tracey and I have worked with 3 different companies in our 3 decades that we've been in the industry, and all of them are billion-dollar companies. We've had a chance to work on advisory boards, where we work with all the executives and all the different CEOs. And I will tell you, one of the things we had a chance to meet Daniel back in July of 2022. And I said, this guy is different than other people out there. I mean, this guy understands our industry. He's had success outside of our industry. He's young enough where he's still, he's got the ability to put together a billion-dollar brand. And I'll tell you what, one of the greatest decisions we ever made was to be partnered with Daniel Piku. And we enjoy our time spending with him. And he was smart enough to partner with a guy named Dr. Dan Gubler. Dr. Dan, you can see by his credentials on here, extremely smart. And again, we've dealt with the science and the health and wellness space, and I get kind of caught up in that. I'm not an expert at the products and the science behind them, but it sure is good to be around somebody who actually knows the science, could formulate the products, and actually is able to explain it where it makes sense to people like me. And so you'll hear more about Dr. Dan as you get more involved in this space. And from there, they've got a scientific advisory board that you saw from the intro video that that these guys aren't paid. They come in here and volunteer their time because they know that they want to be part of it. And so they've joined 3 and come over here, are helping us explain this idea. And so that I'm going to turn it over to my wife, and she's going to talk a little bit about the product side of it.
Really quick about that science advisory board. They all work pro bono, which is absolutely incredible. Can you imagine? And not only that, they're building the business of the opportunity part of this. And so absolutely incredible. I know one of them just went a big level, like a 4-star. So,
Yeah.
and he just got involved. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So these are meet our simple six. These are the simple six of our products. This is the foundation of our product line, and we absolutely love it. Your everyday essentials. These are what they all work together, and it's what everybody needs. Vitalite, of course, is a multivitamin daily supplement. It's absolutely incredible. Whole food. You can actually take it on an empty stomach, and it won't upset it because it's an actual food. Amazing information on this. We have on all of our products. We have PDFs, we have videos, we have so much that we can send you on this. And of course, we don't want to spend too much time on this call, but we can send you everything that you would ever need. Next is Eternal. Eternal is an amazing product when you're talking about resveratrol, right? It's incredible. And glutathione is, I mean, that's the hottest name on the ticket right now, supplement wise. And it's an incredible for your body, for your heart, for your mind. It's just an amazing product. We don't go back down to collagen. It's collagen product, marine based. Amazing product. This product was my first really noticeable product. I took a picture of myself in my bathroom, my skin clean. 3 days later, took the next picture, and amazing different results that you could visually see. So you're not crossing your fingers with our products. You can absolutely see them, feel them work. Next is Revive, a recovery product, and it reduces inflammation. And you know, I think Tylenol is kind of like the key thing everyone's talking about. You know how it's having some challenges in the industry. Revive is all natural, and it reduces inflammation, which again, it's great for recovery after workouts, but it's also great for anything that you would take that you need to reduce that inflammation so you feel better. Next is immune. Of course, we want to build up our immunity. You know, we just went through years of a pandemic, you know, just it's crazy that we need to build up the immunity. Lance, again, he talked about us having 6 children or 6 grandchildren. We have 4 children and 6 grandchildren. And, you know, I love it, but they come over and they pucker up, you know, to kiss grandma. And they have little snotty noses, and they've been in daycare and they've been doing all of that. And I'm like, oh, and I have to kiss them, but boy, that immune. I tell you, I rely on it every single day. And then we go to Purify. This is a gentle body cleanse. It is not a laxative. It is an amazing product, very easy, but again, so important for our vitality. So those are our simple 6. We also have a level up your routine with glow and energy. We have a Visage skincare line that is incredible. It's actually a neuro cosmetic. So when you actually use this product, it gives you a lift, and it helps you feel happier. It's an amazing line, and we can send you all the information about this product line. And then of course we have our brand new kinetic energy. It's a natural energy with no crash, no sugar, no taurine. I mean, it's clean energy. We need this in the marketplace. You see so many and hear so many reports today about what the energy drink market is doing to people. And so we have the first clean energy product. This is our science and technology. I just have to tell you, we can send you things that, I mean, you have to science your way into this industry. We can't buy it. I mean, we're in the physician's desk reference or the prescriber's digital reference. They renamed it and updated it. You can't pay your way into it. You have to science your way into it. And because of that, our Simple 6 are all included, plus a lot of the Visage. So amazing product line that has all the things behind it with epigenetic studies. We have cellular absorption studies. We have studies upon studies. We've spent millions to make sure that you have the confidence, not only in that you feel good, you look good, but we have the materials that stand behind it.
Yeah, that's great as you dig into the science. Like Tracey said, whoever invited you to this, they can send you the links to show you all the information. You know, that's not our job today. Our job is to give you a basic overview. But I'll tell you this: we've done over 100 million in product sales over the last since we've launched, and we're not even 3 years old. And so the proof is people are just buying. They love this stuff, and it's going to be amazing as we expand this out around the globe. And so what I want to do is I want to segue into the income side of this and spend a couple of minutes on this one, because there's a couple of major shifts that have happened over the last couple of years. The first major shift is how we actually market products, or actually how you bring products to market. Years ago, when we were back in retail at our retail store where we met, a lot of the money was spent on advertising, spending on big celebrities going out there and doing ads for millions of dollars and being paid a lot of money. And over the years, those have kind of gone away. And about probably 10, 15 years ago, it started to go to the influencers, the YouTube channels, and the people that really had more of a local influence or a niche type of influence. And today it's kind of even shifted from there to where it's gone away from the big influencers to the micro influencers, the people like you and me, the people that have friends and family, maybe 1,000 connections on Facebook. Because there's a study recently that came out that said you're 80% more likely to listen to the advice of a friend or a family member or somebody you know and trust than you are an influencer or a celebrity. And so that was one major shift, and it really allows us, because everybody's doing what we do today anyway. You go see a good movie, you go to a good restaurant, you tell your friends about it, they're going to likely go. The thing is, you just don't get paid for that. And what we do is we actually help you monetize that influence. The second major shift that happened is going away from the retail stores and box stores and going to online. I don't know about you, but Christmas, I don't think we've ever had a Christmas season the last couple of years where there wasn't a box on the doorstep or several boxes on the doorstep every single day. And so the question is, how do you get the word out and how do you get the product shipped directly to you without the overhead of a store? And that's really where our industry comes in, this idea of network marketing. Is we're able to go ahead and take people who are the micro influencers that can talk to people about products that they've tried that they like. And we've got rid of a store where we can ship directly to consumers. And what that does is it allows us to take about 35 to 40% of the volume generated and pay it back to those people who are actually promoting this idea and representing our brand. And so that breaks down into 6 different ways of creating an income. And I'm not going to go real deep in all of these today, but the first one is a simple one. Tracey went out there and took a before and after picture with collagen. On the after picture, she put a little link that was on the picture. And literally within I think the first 10 or 15 minutes of when we launched, I get an email that said, "You got money." And I don't know, there was 1750 or whatever it was in our back office. And so it's a 25% back. So as you refer these, you're going to get an affiliate type commission back of 25% in North America. And we're going to build that out globally as well. There's an intro bonus that if people get involved, that you can make anywhere from $25 up to $350 as people get involved and decide to build our business. And that's an intro bonus. And we've got promotions and things that go along with that as well. There's something called team commissions, and I'll explain more about that in a minute in the next slide. There's something called a leadership bonus or leadership matching bonus. And this is the one I really like, because what this says is it says if you're really good at helping other people make money, you're going to get a small percentage. And that percentage doesn't come from the person that you're making it from. It comes from the company. They reward you for helping people make money. And when I realized that years ago, I said, you mean to tell me you guys aren't going to charge me? You're going to come down and you're going to help me make money? And when I do, you get a small percent from the company. And they said, yeah. I said, okay, go ahead. And they did. And I love that part of it because, I've invested a lot of things. And one of the things I've invested in is real estate, but I've never sold real estate. But if I were to sell it, I'd want to be the broker, because the brokers are able to leverage themselves out, have a lot of, realtors that are out there. The realtors are the ones that make the most money, but the broker, if they're really good at helping people succeed, they're going to make a good income, and they're going to make it 24/7, whether they're involved or not. And that's what the leadership matching bonus is. And it's a very cool one. There's performance bonuses that come in as you hit different ranks in our compensation plan. And there's a global bonus pool that's based on the revenue of the entire company, which again, how exciting is that to be part of a revenue share of a company that we're going to go, from $100 million to $1 billion to several billion. Tracey and I, again, have spent 3 decades doing this, and we've been with 3 companies that were well over $1 billion. And I've never seen the talent like we have right here at 3 from a corporate standpoint and from a field standpoint. It really hasn't been around before. And so that's our compensation plan. Now, the team commissions is basically a simple way of saying this. We have a marketing plan that basically puts you involved. And when you registered, you'll get an ID number, and that ID number with it, it will really connect you to the system. And as you refer this out to other folks, what's going to happen is one of 3 things. I've shared this for 30 years, and I go out to tell people that, hey, we got a way to have better health. We have a way to create an income. And people will react one of 3 ways. Some people will look at me and say, hey, it's not for me. And that's okay. If it's not for them, it's not for them. Now, typically, I'll give them some samples, and I'll give them some products that will change their lives. And a lot of those people that started off as a no ended up coming back later and ended up being customers or brand ambassadors with us. The second type of person is going to look at it and say, I'd just like to be a customer. I'd like to buy some of the products. And thankfully, our products are so good that we've got tens of thousands of people over here at 3 that are actually buying the products on a regular basis. And we're blessed to have them as part of the 3 family, even if it's for the customer level. Now, there's going to be the third type like me that said, you know what? I've tried this stuff, and if there's a way to monetize this, I'd like to create an income with it. And those people come on board, and those are the ones that we start to build. And so in this case, if you got involved, we're going to talk about the steps of getting started in a minute, but basically you get involved, you place the first order. As Bob and Sue get involved, we're going to build two teams, a right team and a left team. And as those two generate volume, like you see here with 600 CV on one side and 300 CV on the other, you're going to hit something called a cycle bonus. And that cycle bonus is $35 to $45, depending on how your business is structured. But that happens in real time, all the time, 24/7, and it's seamless. It could be, you could lead to somebody down the street who maybe has a Chinese restaurant, who leads to somebody in China, who leads to somebody in Malaysia, who leads to somebody in Japan, who leads to somebody, across the country from you here in the United States. And that's how our business works. It really, once you're in the system, all that volume generated through will actually come up through you and create these types of cycles. And they'll take the cycles up to $27,000 a week is where they cap that one bonus. And already we've got a bunch of folks that have already been able to hit that. We've got people making as little as $50 a week, people up to making $50,000 a week. And again, we're not even 3 years old yet, which is just amazing how this has been able to work itself out. And so what's next? Maybe you're interested in the health results. Maybe you want the financial flexibility. Again, for me, I was thinking to myself, what if I get in this and it doesn't work from an income level? Well, I'd get healthier and I'd meet a lot of people that really are like-minded entrepreneurs. And so I said, okay, that's okay. I thought, what if it does work and I don't get in? And all my friends created income without me. I said, man, I'd shoot myself, or my wife would. And so I thought, how cool would it be to be a part of something like this? And so we were absolutely curious. And from that, we made a decision to jump in place. We have some intro packs that you could, from $380 up to a big pro collection one. And again, we're not here to sell you a pack. Here's what I'm saying is this $30 to get involved. Get with the person that invited you to this, and get in where you fit in. For us, again, we were broke, living from paycheck to paycheck, and so we kind of went on the smaller end. But today, we got involved in this and bought one of the bigger packs. And literally by the time we launched, we'd already moved all the product because we knew how good it was, and we had a chance to sample it ahead of time. And so again, get with the person that invited you, so you can walk through those steps. But again, there's really just 4 steps to get involved. Enroll at $30. Place your initial first order. You've got to do 100 CV, about $200 to activate, and that kind of gets you in the system and gets your points rolling. And from there, we have something called a Smart Ship program that really is the key to our business, because all of our products are highly consumable. They're kind of geared for a 30-day supply, and we have all of them. And again, I don't know the science of the product. I just know I take all of them just in case, and I've felt better than I've felt in a lot of years, and so we're grateful for that. And then the next step is this: is who do you know that would like to make money and feel better? Is there anyone like that out there? And I would challenge you, yes, there are people that you've talked to that they're all looking for something. And is everyone going to get involved? Again, I'm not going to talk someone into that's not interested. Just a quick recap: feel better, share with others, earn income, start today. And so let me go ahead and pull out of this and just give you a couple of closing thoughts. So when we saw this years ago, again, we were in a tough spot financially. I know not all of you are in that spot right now. I know some of you are doing real well financially, and maybe you're crushing it in life, and you've got great goals, and you're killing it. If that's the case, then maybe the opportunity side may not be for you, but I would challenge you to get out on the products, because the products will help you live longer. I can't guarantee that. I just know the way that we've felt in the last 2.5 years. Again, we've heard so many testimonies, you just can't ignore them. I mean, there's no even debating how good our products are. And so get on the products and go from there. But if you're like most people that are out there, again, 85% of the people in America right now are struggling. They don't know if they're going to have a job. They're living from paycheck to paycheck. They're frustrated financially. The cost of everything's gone up. And they're at a point where they're frustrated in life, and they're in a spot like I was years ago. And I came home and walked in the door, and there's Tracey crying because I can't pay the bills. And so if that's you, then basically, I'm just going to say this. I think you got really 3 choices. Choice number 1 is you keep going and keep doing what you're doing and keep your fingers crossed. I wouldn't do that. If it were me personally, I wouldn't take that choice, because I think it's too risky today. I think the greatest risk right now in the world is not taking a risk at all. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people out there who, I live near the 15 freeway, and I go out there. I try to avoid it at 5 o'clock. I get there at 5 o'clock, and there's a lot of unhappy people that are on that road, just going back and forth, keeping their fingers crossed, hoping they can get, next week's pay, next month's pay, house payment or rent due. So that's choice number 1. I wouldn't recommend that. The second choice you've got is you could go get another job or another career, or go in a different direction. And there's going to be a lot of people that are displaced. They're going to have to be forced to do that. The hard thing about that is to actually get good at something. It's going to take a long time and take a lot of effort and a lot of studying to go in a different direction for most people. And when I looked at that choice, I thought, I can go in a different direction, but man, if it takes me 2 or 3 years to kind of learn to get good at something and I have to cut my income, how am I going to pay the bills along the way? And so that really was eating at me. I mean, I really couldn't sleep about it. And I'm just going to throw this out there as option number three. Option number three is this. We launched 2.5 years ago. There were, I could say 15 to 20 people that were multi-million-dollar earners that came together and said, look, we want to have the right people, the right company, the right products for the right reasons at the right time. Between all of us here, again, we've done somewhere between 15 and $20 billion in revenue over the last 10 or 15 years. This isn't our first rodeos. We've done this. We've built big organizations, big teams, but we want to do it for the right people. And we put that together at three. And again, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And so you have not only us, but you have a whole list of people that is the deepest bench I've ever seen in the industry. I told someone the other day, it's kind of like we've played baseball our whole lives. We're good at it, and it's the World Series, and we know how to hit the home runs, and we got the right players on the team, and that's really where we're at with three. Three is going to be a company that, if you think you heard a lot about it in the last 15 or 20 minutes, you're going to hear about this a lot. You're going to hear about three again and again and again, and hopefully you're talking about three, not going, man, I should have got involved in three. And so I'm going to challenge you: get with the person that invited you to this call, get back with them. Take a serious look at this. Look at Dr. Dan. Look at Daniel's vision. And I think you're going to see exactly what we saw a bunch of years ago that got us in this space. And it's been 30-something years since we've actually had a W-2 working for somebody else. And I'll tell you what, it was the road less traveled, but it made all the difference for us, and it can make the difference for you. So God bless you all. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving week. And hopefully you get a chance to meet you somewhere soon and shake your hand. Thanks, everybody. Good night.